pretty good.
Yeah,
It's actually pretty good.
it is.
That's actually the best
Nice.
part of the whole show right there.
There you go. You've seen it. Anyway, we are Open Shutter. You're
Yeah.
joining us again for another week, and we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves, and then we're going to get into this awesome long exposure show. And, I guess I'll start. My name is Brian McGowan. I am a Brampton, Ontario-based photographer, videographer, and I am the issuer of the challenge. So blame me. My name is Brian. Anyway, somebody's got an echo happening.
I fixed it.
Fixed it? Okay, cool. Awesome. So, yeah, long exposures. They're awesome. We have a lot of great submissions from a lot of you. And I don't know, let's go to Evans, and then we'll go to Paul, Andre, and then we'll start getting into this. Evans.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Evans, based in Brampton, Ontario. I'm primarily an events and wedding photographer, portraits, but shoot everything else for fun. And one thing that I like to do is long exposure. So it's going to be an interesting night. I know there's a lot of submissions, and I can't wait to see what you guys all came up with. So let's have some fun tonight. All right, Paul?
Awesome. Thanks everyone for jumping on, and thanks for everyone submitting. I think this is a record for like submissions. So either you guys like Brian or you guys just like the challenge. So we're not sure yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun, right, Brian? But yeah, I think you know, the power of just like being in a group is like you got to see different like approaches and perspectives and like strategies to do something like a long exposure where you think there's one way, but there's actually like many ways to do it. So I think that's the benefit of like watching the show is like you're going to learn a couple of things to apply next time you're taking long exposures. So stay tuned and
so much variety.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety. I think it's easy to get kind of stuck in your own lane and like not kind of like look out into like other ways to do things. So I'm guilty of it all the time. So huge thanks to everyone that submitted. And if this is your first time watching this show, we all have YouTube channels here. And Brian, I'm sure, listed all of our YouTube stuff in the description. Check us out and make sure you like this video. Follow us on Instagram, Open Shutter, YouTube, because that's where we post all the information on what
that link's below.
All the links are below. Click the links, hit the subscribe button.
Below.
Yeah, hit subscribe because, like my handle said, that's what Santa wants. So make sure you hit subscribe. You don't want to piss off Santa. It's one person you don't want to piss off.
Can't do that.
God. Bad memories from childhood.
What's up, guys? Andre here, also from Brampton. Photography, videography, all that fun stuff. This is probably really close to my heart because when I started my photography journey, I did a lot of long exposures on my own. And so when Brian issued this, it was like, all right. So I can't wait to see everybody's photos.
Game on.
Yeah.
All right. So I think what we're going to start with is Mr. Evans, our technical expert, is going to give us a brief talk on what a long exposure is. Just a couple minutes quickly. And then Evans is going to be the first to show us a photo.
Brave man.
Awesome. So, you know, long exposure is one of the techniques of photography that I like to do a lot. And that's because it's a little bit unusual from what we are, you know, normally used to. Because we're used to just one click, instantly take the photo, you know, shutter speed. One of the basic fundamentals of photography is shutter speed, right? So understanding your shutter speed, your ISO, and your white balance. ISO, shutter speed, and what's the other one?
Aperture.
So
we got you, buddy. Don't worry.
We got beginners on Saturday, but
photography. Yes, go check out the beginners photography. Right, Saturday, right?
Saturday.
But what long exposure really does is that you play with your shutter. Most of the time when we're taking portraits, we're taking photos, we want the sharpest image, we want to freeze the action as much as possible. And so when you put your shutter speed higher, what it does is it freezes motion. So if the person is moving or if there's raindrops, it all freezes in time, right? What long exposure allows you to do is to be able to introduce a little bit of or some amount of motion into what is otherwise a still image, right? And so, basic definition of a long exposure would be, you know, the technique where you keep your shutter open for an unusually long period of time, right? That long period of time depends on what you're shooting. So you could, shoot from somewhere around 1 second, 2 seconds, going up to maybe even 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes sometimes, right? Depending on the kind of shot that you want. So keeping that low shutter speed and leaving your shutter open for that long period of time can create some unique perspective to what we usually visualize with our eyes. And that's what it's all about tonight. So we're going to have some fun. I'm going to show you guys what I shot for this challenge. It's a very basic thing, but the reason why I shot this is because the only time I have done this is with Brian and Andre where we go out. But this time I wanted to try it out on my own. I had other ideas that I wanted to, but I couldn't pan out the way I wanted it to due to time constraints. But I managed to do something that I've never really done on my own. And to make it more interesting, I added a twist, right? Because I usually use my DSLRs or my mirrorless cameras to shoot this kind of stuff. But I wanted to try a long exposure using the phone, right? So I did it actually right here in this studio here. I just did light painting, but I shot it with my cell phone. Okay, so
all right,
interesting.
Of the best, right? But I think for my first try on my own without Brian and Andre, I did quite well. So I'll share that with you guys. And I went out to the dollar store, and then I bought this glow in the dark kind of tubes thing for $1. Came in here, turned off all my lights down here, and just had a good spin around. And not the best of ships, but that's something that I wanted to try on my own for a while, and I was able to do something with a cell phone. So this was shot with a cell phone.
Which one? Which phone?
Actually, let me see if I can see.
Hey, let's go.
I think it's a Galaxy S21 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Very creative, anyway.
Oh my God. And this was not too long. This is 1/4 of a second, right? And that's what we got. So on my DSLRs, maybe I'll go a little bit longer. But this was just 1/4 of a second. Long exposure doesn't really have to be really long period of time. Anywhere that you cannot naturally handhold, you can consider that as a long exposure, and due to the effect that you get.
Excellent.
Cool, man.
Cool.
Nice.
Creative.
It shows too that you don't have to be limited by gear. You can do something with just a cell phone. It works perfectly well.
The new ones do long, which is pretty good.
Yeah, if you've got an Apple, you can use the Apple software to actually do it, or you can get camera controls.
Yeah,
and actually control your camera and do it that way too.
So most cameras these days have manual exposure as well. So
you're
not limited.
Yeah.
So just in case you're not paying attention to the comments, I've put the link to join the show in the comments too.
Pay attention to the comments.
So if you are watching and you did send in a photo,
love to have you on.
Jump on to discuss it. Then let us know that you want to jump on, and we'll make sure we save yours for when you pop on.
Yeah.
I guess I'll jump into the two that I have now. I have two for tonight.
Okay.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jack. Guys, make sure you like this video because there's only one like and there's 8 people watching. I don't want to be the like police.
So,
happy birthday, Jack and Jim.
Yeah, no problem, Jess.
You say it's Jack's birthday? So you said
within the week. A lot of the same.
Oh, we're all Sagittarius, eh?
There we go.
That's a sign, man.
All right, so this is just a simple night shot, long exposure. I wanted to get the train coming through. I wanted to get the gates going down. And I tried a different lens than I normally use and used a fisheye to shoot this.
Nice.
Very cool.
just to try something a little different.
Yeah.
I love how wide that is.
Oh, I know.
Man.
It's crazy wide, and I love the distortion and just the train coming through, and you can see the blur from the gates at the crossing going down, and
Right.
then I just
Yep.
just wanted to try and capture it all.
Nice.
And again, that for anyone who's wondering, 30 seconds at ISO 100. So that's basically maxing out what you can do in a camera without switching to bulb mode.
Yeah.
Most cameras will go to 30 seconds. And the next one is actually a longer exposure. That's that shot.
Yeah, very cool.
Nice
So
one.
that's actually the blur of the clouds going over those buildings.
Yeah.
So it's a daytime long exposure. It's one exposure.
Yeah.
And this one was 135 seconds during the day. So for something like this, you need some pretty strong what are called ND filters. And those just block the amount of light getting to your sensor so that you can do a much longer exposure. A lot of people use them for waterfalls to get that blur in the water. And I actually originally had a couple waterfall shots queued up for tonight, but I want to show off everybody else's photos. So,
yeah.
But in this
These
instance,
don't
I
need-
actually stacked two together to get an even longer daytime exposure.
Cool.
Because you need all that darkening to do a long exposure in the middle of the day. This was actually waiting for a beginner class to start up. I got there early and the clouds looked great, so I shot this while I was waiting.
Nice.
Shout out NDs.
Shout out NDs.
Yeah.
So I guess we might as well jump in to
Sure.
a few submissions here.
Yeah,
Cool.
let's do it.
Okay, so
Evan's
first up
drum roll.
is Ben.
Ben, nice, man. Are you on, Ben?
I don't know if Ben's in the comments or not.
Shout out, Four Seasons Center. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so this is looks like traffic trails in front of the hotel here, downtown Toronto. And
Yeah,
also
it was a
from
great building.
Ben, we also have this one from Ben.
He's scanning for us for Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben's on. He just said, hey.
Hey, Ben.
What's up,
We're
Ben?
showing your shots.
Thanks for scanning us for Saturday, by the way. Yeah,
You
the
guys-
Opera House, yeah.
The Opera House. Excellent. Thanks, Ben. So, yeah, again, just two different kind of shots. Nighttime. This one looks like it's more blue hour.
Yeah.
You got the traffic trails going through that one as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of construction in the UFT area. So when we were there on the weekend, and it's like freaking fences and freaking whatever. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a challenge for the night meetup this weekend. But
yeah, see what happens, I guess.
yeah, play it by ear.
Oh, I
Okay,
like
so
this.
This
That's
is
I like that.
Damn, who's that?
This is from
This
Darren
you?
Creighton.
Oh, Darren? Is Darren on? Jeez, man.
That's really nice.
Oh, man.
So does it have any EXIF with it? No, it doesn't have any EXIF with it. So
Where did you shoot this, man? Is Darren
It's-
on? I'd like to get Darren on.
he's on. This is a super cool shot, though. I love this one. Just
Man.
everything blurring away.
Whose strike did you borrow?
Yeah.
The simplicity of the black and white. It's just it's a nice fine art kind of shot. Really
Yeah.
like this one.
Freaking Photoshop a ghost in that one.
There we go.
I love how the water gets on a long exposure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jack likes it. Jessica likes it.
Frozen.
Excellent.
Can you
This
guys
one,
hear me? For some reason, I feel like nobody's hearing me now.
You're cutting out, man.
we can hear you
quiet.
now, but you're cutting out a lot and you're quiet.
Mr. Audio, you're cutting out.
I'm just going quiet.
Push record.
Yeah, hit record, man.
Okay, so this is
Damn.
Andrew Erdman.
Oh, Erdman?
Yeah.
Erdman? Is Andrew you on, man? Yeah. So I want to know how we got this. I don't think Andrew has a drone.
Now let me see if it's got.
Is that Hamilton?
Is this Hamilton, Andrew? I don't know if Hamilton's on.
It's a Sony, so it's not a drone.
F8, 25 seconds.
Yeah, we need information. We need information here.
Yeah, that
And
looks
then
like
we've got another one from Andrew here.
Yeah, I know where you shot that one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
again,
like that. That looks good.
nice. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it's nice.
the traffic underneath the deck, the traffic
Yeah,
on
I
top.
think it's a detail there. It's a detail with the traffic underneath, I think.
Yeah,
It gets me.
that's nice.
Plus a cool sky. Andrew, if you're on, we need answers.
Yeah,
we need
the
answers
flip
now.
need to know where that is. It does look like Hamilton, though, doesn't
Hamilton, right?
I think it is, but
it?
Yeah.
It does look like might
Like-
be from one of the viewpoints on the escarpment.
yeah, I
All
just
right,
don't know
Andrew.
where though.
Okay, next time we need people to give us information on where they've done these things, because I want to go and check this place out.
I'm gonna Google that. I'm gonna
Google
find
that,
it.
man. Let's do a recon.
I'll
Yeah.
find it.
Research time.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to continue on to this one, which is
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Greg Cook.
Okay. Thanks, Greg.
So this is from
Sure.
Greg Cook.
I guess
Yep.
he's on a rooftop there.
I think so.
Rooftop or a balcony. Got a little bit of traffic blur there.
Nice.
And also from Greg Cook.
Yeah, I
is
like
a
that.
panning shot.
Good.
Oh,
Big
that's cool. Boom.
Big.
It actually looks like he captured it in camera and not done in post with motion
Yeah.
blur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skills, Greg. Skills.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Teach me, man. Oh yeah.
And then again, another shot where the water just blurs away. And
I like that. That's how you can make. Yeah, that's how you can make like just like regular day shots like really stand out.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
I mean, it's the middle of the daytime. Like, what are you gonna do, right? Do something like that.
So again, this was probably using ND filters, and
100%.
this shot may have been using ND filters as well.
Yeah. But how would you actually get like the pan of the guy in the bike? Like, what's like the technique used for that?
So
Well,
basically, what you're doing, I'll stop my sharing for a second here. So
Mm.
you're holding your camera,
Yeah.
and as something goes across, you're going. You hit your shutter and just keep a continuous motion.
Right.
But you can't like start. You have to be following it and hit your shutter and just keep the continuous motion and
Right.
with it.
Got
And
it.
it takes practice.
Well, yeah.
You gotta
definitely.
be super steady, no? You gotta be super steady with that.
Pretty
Takes
steady.
practice.
I mean, you can get away with a little bit of wobble, but you want to be as
Yeah.
steady as possible on that subject.
Right.
Right. Plus, you can usually when I'm doing panning, I start off at maybe 50th of a second, just because you're moving so fast, you don't really need to be way too slow.
Yeah, it depends. Like guys
yeah.
doing race cars, they'll be at 1/200th of a second, and they're still doing panning shots on a race car because the subject is just moving so quickly. Whereas someone on a bicycle, you can get away with 1/20th of a second, and it's just a nice, easy, steady movement.
Yeah.
The key thing is to grab the focus, and then pan with the focus locked onto the
Yep.
subject
And
before you.
fluid motion, hit the shutter as you're moving. Don't stop, and then just one fluid motion, hit it, and just keep going. And experiment
Practice.
a lot.
Yeah, just practice. Practice with a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Because you always have an opportunity.
Mhm.
Not on your driveway, because that could be a little bit boring.
Okay, we're gonna bring my tab back up here, and I'll go to the next
Oh,
one.
that's cool.
So this is
Man.
from our frequent guest on our show, Mr. Jason Foley.
Jason, you.
That's cool.
Oh man, I'm just gonna sell my camera. Oh jeez.
Is that a ping pong ball?
It's a
Yep,
golf
this is the ball, ping pong ball.
Yeah.
Jason, are you on, man? You want to come on for 2 minutes and chat about this one?
Wait, I think
Sure.
this is what I was trying to do, because I think Jason is using the flash here
He's probably using a flash, and then
on his hand, right?
Yeah, so the first would be the stationary part would be lit with a flash, and then the ball after.
Jason, if you're on, let us know, man.
That's what it looks like anyway.
Great, I mean, amazing shot, to be honest with you.
That's one technique that I like using a lot.
Yeah.
Mostly is called what, the second curtain, or sometimes you can use first curtain depending on what you're doing. But
That's probably a first curtain. That looks like a first curtain.
This one's probably a first curtain, yeah. But you can
Might
do
have actually been two.
At the end too, yeah.
Front and rear, because of the way the ball's lit at the end there. You can actually make out the writing on the ball.
Nice.
Yeah.
Might actually be 3 exposures. Hard to tell.
Jason, are you on? Let us know, man. We need answers.
One for the hand,
2 ball,
one
and
at the
balls.
Yeah, one on the hand, one at the beginning of the throw, one at the end of the throw.
It's here.
Jeez. Pretty creative.
Yeah, it's nice. And then we've
That's
got
Pretty creative, man.
this one, the wind blowing the
Yeah, dig that.
the windmill, the cloud movement,
Yeah,
everything. So this is again another daytime. And this is 3.2 seconds, so it must have been nice and windy that day. To get even that much
good.
blur on 3.2 seconds, those clouds must have been moving.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
And then this one, this is one maybe Mr. Ben will appreciate.
Yeah.
This is actually blurring
Oh, wow.
just the dial spinning. So that's all it is just blurring the dial spinning. Jason actually sent me in 5 shots, but I wanted to use 3 for the show.
Holy, man.
But yeah, that's...
Wow, that's pretty creative.
Yeah, film cameras,
Yeah.
manual, dials move and stuff. So he actually sent me another one where it's a long exposure of the depressed shutter button rising up.
Jason, stop being so good, man. Stop being so good. Just send in a bad photo one day. Just make us all feel good.
I'm gonna say it's right.
And then here we've got a long exposure portrait for something different.
Nice one. Yeah.
So as you can see,
The
just
double.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good one, Jessica.
That looks good.
Jessica does some nice portrait work. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I dig that.
I like it because it's different than any of the other ones we've seen too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just gives you different ideas.
Yep. So as you can see, it's more than just light trails.
Yeah, good one.
Then this is Kim.
Yeah.
So this would be a light trail shot and a zoom burst at the same time.
Explain what a zoom burst is to people.
So basically, a zoom burst, you're on a tripod. You can do it handheld, but it doesn't look as nice. You're on a tripod, and as you're doing a long exposure shot, you actually rotate your zoom, so you're zooming through the photo, either in or out, depending. It gives you a slightly different look, depending on which way you do it. So you're actually using your zoom ring to zoom in or out while your long exposure is going on. And that's how you get the streaks of light
on the top there.
Yeah, so these, I don't know if you can see my mouse moving there.
Yeah, right
on
there.
The screen, but these would be from a zoom burst, but then you've got the light streaks here from the traffic going by during the shot.
Yeah, no, that looks good.
And if I remember correctly, I showed Kim how to do that during one of our light painting workshops. And she's been doing it ever since.
Kim, are you on? Let us know.
I'm not sure if she's on.
Yeah.
But I remember showing her that technique during one of our light painting workshops that she was at.
Yeah.
And I've seen her use it every once in a while since then. It's a nice effect.
Yeah.
Gives you a different look.
Yeah.
And then this is Roz.
Nice one, Roz.
So
yeah. Underpass Park.
Steel Wool, Underpass Park.
Place that keeps on giving.
Expensive night.
Yeah, I remember that night. Not the night of Roz's shot, but Andre and I have done Steel Wool at Underpass Park too.
It's a great spot.
Damn Toronto ticket people.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you got a ticket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Too
And then
bad.
another one from Roz.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Basically in the falls almost.
Classic Niagara Falls sunrise shot.
No car down there though.
No car, no
No car.
car in there. It's always a good
Oh.
sign.
Oh,
Oh, God.
and then this
Oh,
one
wow.
is the
Through
blur
the-
in the fountain.
Through the
Oh, that's-
glasses, though.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
through the glasses.
Damn. That's cool. Shadow pie bar.
Right on.
Damn.
So yeah, so it's
Wow.
lots of variety, lots of different styles.
That's awesome.
Nah, you guys are too good, man.
So it's no, it's nice to see. I'm actually did anybody do any waterfall photos?
I have them in the archive.
Not for this. No.
I have them in the archive.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
me
sure you got
too.
some there in your archive, Brian.
Just a couple.
Yeah. You want to show people?
Yeah, I'll pull up one waterfall just to because Roz did the big Niagara Falls, but there's
Yeah. If you go to Hamilton area, there's a million waterfalls there.
a million.
It's a waterfall capital of Canada, the world, whatever.
I think it's Canada.
Canada.
Good old the
Yeah.
hammer.
Hey, man. It's a place that keeps on giving.
Oh, for sure. No, it's there we go. There's a waterfall. I'll
Let's see
show
it.
that just so we can show a different kind of view of a waterfall here. I just want to show off again more variety. That's
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and again, when you're doing something like this, it's very easy to do a very, very long exposure. The key to doing a waterfall like this is actually
Mhm.
getting the exposure just long enough to blur the water, but so that you can actually still see the texture of the water. Because if you do it too long, then it's just a white blur, all the water, and you don't get individual streaks like this. Like you can, if you zoom in on this one even more, you can see there's streaks in the water. And if you
Yeah.
do it too
Yeah.
long, you lose all that.
Right.
So the key is just balancing how long you want that shutter to be open for.
Yeah.
Waterfalls, I usually go around 2 seconds, thereabout.
Yeah, it depends. It really depends on the volume of water.
It depends on how fast it's flowing.
Yeah, so that shot was actually 0.4 seconds. But there was a lot of water on that day. Because again, it just very much depends. And then the other long exposure is, again, a nighttime one with light streaks. And I shot this one actually specifically for the show. I didn't cue it up, but we've got time to show it, so I will before we go to Paul here. So when Andre and I were at Wonderland recently for Winterfest.
Oh, yeah, Winterfest.
It's beautiful. People go.
Yes.
It's a ring endorsement. It's a good
It
time for a
is,
sponsor. Canada's Wonderland.
But you've got the rides.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And the rides that light up are great for long exposure kind of shots.
Yeah, I got some of those at the X like 10 years ago, or it feels like 10 years ago.
I've actually never taken photos at the X. I've never been to the X.
Next year when it's back, we're all going.
We have to. Yep, totally.
So I mean that's just mandatory at this point.
So anyway, we've got all that, a lot of different variety.
Nice.
Well, Paul's queuing up his shots, and then we go to Andre's. If anybody has any questions about long exposures, please feel free to drop them in the comments there, and we will happily answer them for you. And the invite is still there for anyone who wants to pop on. And I will also go find Jason's other camera long exposure, because I know I have it in my email somewhere. Get that one ready, and we'll show that one off too, just because. So Paul, whenever you want to share your.
It's up, bud.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
There we go.
You got it up?
Busy Highway. Yep, got it up. Busy Highway.
So this is what road is this again? Grand Avenue or something in Etobicoke? But it's a great it's a great spot to get light trails of the gardener, because sometimes when you go on bridges, like they have like really high fencing and it's hard to get your tripod over unless you want to, put your tripod on a kind of risky part of the bridge. So this bridge is actually pretty easy to do. And like we kind of do in like the beginner workshops, like when we end up with light trails, we always try to find a place that has like a lot of traffic and fast traffic. But it's also good to get like overhead, right? Because then you just get a different perspective of the actual light trail, because you get the incoming and you get the westbound, and you get the eastbound, and I don't know, people seem to dig it when we end the workshop that way. So yeah, I think it's Grand Avenue in Etobicoke. So it's the bridge there. It's pretty.
Dancy's. I know the exact bridge you're talking about, Mike.
Dancy
used to be the bridge for the gravel pit that has been repurposed and painted, and I've actually shot time lapses from that bridge, and so has Andre.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it. It's
also,
my
thanks for watching, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Mike's kind of a big deal on YouTube, so I'm sure he has better things to do than watching our show, but we appreciate it.
He's probably driving over Paul's Mac.
Yeah, well, then I can't edit all my other videos, which would be sad. Only for me, though.
Okay. Andre, just before you jump into yours, I found that other one of Jason's. So
yeah, no problem.
Pop that on the screen here. So I really want to show this one off.
Nice.
Oh, actually, Jason just messaged me.
Yeah.
He just got home, and he wants to pop on. So
yeah, come on, man.
Well, at least you're gonna feel happy there, Mike.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. We can't actually air that comment. So,
are we not allowed to air that comment?
Wow, I'm just saying, it's your channel,
it is legal.
Your channel.
It is legal.
It is legal.
It is legal. So.
Oh, copyright police.
Yeah. So yeah, Jason, the link to join the show is in the comments if you're watching.
Yes.
And I think I might be able to copy it and send it to you in the Facebook chat. You're messaging me in as well. Let me just open up Facebook.
Great timing, Jason.
Yeah, perfect.
Evans, we need the intro music again when Jason comes on.
There we go. There you go, Jason. I dropped the link there as well.
Weird stuff with my audio all of a sudden.
Oh man, weird.
Mic and everything is just acting up.
Weird.
Just
shout out to our sponsor, Rode. Rode. It never lets you down until it does.
Yeah.
No strikes yet.
There we go.
So,
I actually, we'll come back to Jason's photo because I really want him to explain what this is.
Yeah. Please explain this.
Once he gets on. So why don't we jump into Andre? Showing some.
Andre's got a banger, man. Andre's got a banger.
Andre's got a few. Andre's going to bring a whole different variety that I purposely stayed away from because I knew Andre would bring it.
Andre was playing with fire again, wasn't he?
Well, kind of, but.
Okay, so. Okay, I'm going to add Andre's photo, but I'm going to add Jason in first.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Jason, we're just jumping onto Andre's photo for a second.
Okay,
we're going
awesome.
to go on to one of yours here. So
okay, perfect.
We'll go to Andre's first.
Cool.
So, Andre,
nice.
Why don't you tell us what that is?
So I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So this is actually plain light trails taking off. So this is actually 11 planes that I've taken off, and I've actually in Photoshop put all the photos together. So each one of those is a different plane taking off.
Awesome. That's a Pearson, obviously.
Those are all 30-second exposures because I wanted enough time for the plane taking off to getting out of frame. So a couple I missed, but
yeah, that's really neat.
It's part of it. So I meant to do this.
That'll be Pearson Airport, Mike.
Yeah.
Yes, I meant to do it earlier in the year, but with a certain thing going on, there hasn't been as many planes, and
Yeah.
so it took me about an hour and a half to get this one done.
Wow.
So
It's true. You used to be able to see that
You'd
many planes
bang
within the
that out in
span
10
of.
minutes before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
exactly. Yeah.
it's coming back slowly, but
Yep.
Oh, cool.
another long exposure shot I did with Courtney. I've worked with her a bunch of times now, and she had this idea, so we made it happen. It's basically this was like a 2.5, 3 second exposure. It was just me waving around a fireworks behind her.
Neat.
We need to get more of those fireworks.
Yeah, I know. Same thing. Here's Courtney. She's actually a welder. She's been doing it for over 20 years, and so I was there with her and her daughter. We were doing some light painting as well with the light tubes. This is a 8-second exposure with the off-camera flash, which shoots just before the curtain closes because you want to put a little bit of light on the subject.
Yeah.
And if you do the flash first, it's going to wash out the area where the light painting is. So it's a second curtain or rear curtain flash, as they call it. Just another technique, one exposure. This is also one exposure. I was playing around in the parking lot beside me. This is a 30-second exposure.
Weird. You got how many Andres are there?
There's 2 of me in there.
Nice.
So this is
Any Andres.
I
That's
know.
near and dear to my heart there, Andre. I love
This
that
is,
sort of thing.
This is a
Yeah.
30-second exposure.
Yeah.
So all I did was take a little flash I had, start the exposure, put it on the ground, had the remote in my hand, fired it, picked it up, ran to the other side, fired it on that side, and then got out of the shot.
Perfect.
So this is a one exposure
Beautiful.
with showing multiple people in that. It's
almost as good as Jason's. Yeah, almost as good as Jason's.
Thank you. It's a little hard to do by yourself, but a few tries and you get your timing down. And
I don't know if you guys remember that 3 Jasons photo that I did on the dock.
It's almost as good
Yeah,
as yours.
Andre, that's exactly the same technique. And
I couldn't do 3 of me because I didn't have enough time.
yeah, I was out there for a long time to get 3. Yeah.
And then I got one more.
One more? Okay.
Oh, cool.
So
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
So basically, this is 22 planes taking off. I changed the location. So this is actually Dixie Road. So I've actually got the truck and car traffic going across with the with the planes taking off. And that's
cool.
actually 22 exposures, all 30 seconds long, and then brought together in Photoshop. So
Nice.
So yeah.
Beauty.
So yeah.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
I'm going to drop Andres off. And then now that Jason has joined us.
Hey!
Hey, sorry, better late than
You
never.
gotta, Jason, you gotta stop being so good, man.
Oh, thanks. You're too good. You're too
be so
kind.
good.
I hope you got to see a couple of them already. Oh yeah,
yes.
cool. Yeah.
So yeah, we've already shown 3.
Okay,
but then
cool.
we were going back to this one,
Yeah.
and I figured if you were coming on, you could explain what it is.
Yeah, for sure. So I think you guys remember I mentioned before that I'm getting into vintage cameras. And so I have a nice little collection growing. I have about 7 of them now. This one here is a 1949 Zeiss Icon Netar is the model, and purely manual. So what you're seeing there in that picture, that little lever that is moved across, it actually starts on that's actually the shutter lever. So when I'm ready to take the shot, I cock that shutter over to the left, and that basically engages it. And then that cable that you see coming out of there to the left, that's actually a cable release. So I press the cable release, and that shutter lever will flip across to the right side. But it doesn't do it in one smooth motion. It actually quickly comes up to about center, and then it's on a timer. So let's say I'm doing a 1 second exposure. So that's what you're seeing there. That's 1 second of travel in that little bit of movement. And then it very quickly resets itself back into the base position. So this is roughly a 5 second exposure. Start the exposure, waited about 1 second, tripped the shutter, waited another second afterwards, and then that used up the 5 seconds. So, and then I just had some nice side lighting to it to illuminate the scene. So tried to think of something different to do with a long exposure, because any type of movement that you can capture is pretty cool. Yeah.
Man, creative.
Okay.
Jeez.
A little bit of old school.
Yeah. Nice.
I like the twist there. Obviously I was using my EOS R to capture that picture. So you've got over 70 years between the two cameras, right? It's kind of cool.
Nice.
Old meets new.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
You should NFT one of these, man.
Thank you.
NFT one of these suckers, man.
I just need to get my head around NFTs first.
Nah, you can definitely get your head around it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Brian, why don't you show the ping pong ball one too?
Oh, that's a fun one. Actually, Andre,
Yeah.
I was happy that he mentioned rear curtain flash, because that's exactly, I can explain that one. Sure.
Yeah, I'll bring that one back up here.
Yeah, I'll explain it quick.
It's a fun technique.
It is
different, and
this photo
I
actually
can actually find some other ones using rear curtain while Jason's talking about this one here.
This one was actually part of a photography course that I took years ago, and what the objective was to capture motion in a photo. So this one here I just did on our our dining room table. So over my right-hand shoulder is our sliding glass door to our deck. So we had a lot of nice ambient sunlight coming in. So that's really what's illuminating my hand and the motion of the ping pong ball. So I started off the exposure with the two ping pong balls in my hand. Actually, if you look at my thumb, you could just see the amount of movement that I did in my thumb to tip the ping pong ball off of my finger.
yeah.
So that actually got the ball bouncing down the table. And then, like Andre had there, I had a rear curtain sink or rear sink flash, they call it. It fired the flash at the very end of the exposure, which gave me the nice solid ping pong ball at the end of the trail. Just very quickly illuminated it before it closed the shutter, and that made it look solid at the end. Did several takes of this one, and finally I got one take where the labeling on the ball was visible. So that was kind of fun. Yeah.
Jeez. Creative, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You mean Spirit Box, Brian?
Yeah, Spirit Box. So just because that's the theme of my channel usually, GhostTube is free. There are recording limits on GhostTube of 1 minute, but it is free to use if you stay within that 1 minute. And so far, I found it to be the best one, Brandon. So that
is Brandon also on Ghosts?
Maybe, I don't know. But that's the app I've been using the most and had the most success with. And there is the free version, but it just has the recording limit of 1 minute. So you can do 1 minute, multiple 1 minute clips with it. Yeah. And you can record right through the app as well.
Yes. Cool, man. Cool. Are you in Canada or where are you?
Yeah, if you're in the Toronto area, Brandon, let's collab on a ghost video.
Man. Speaking of ghosts, long exposures and ghosts work really well too.
Sure.
That for a segue. Boom.
So let's. I'm going to bring up another type of second curtain.
Yeah.
Shot.
Florida.
He's in Florida. Oh, so he's probably nice and warm.
Yeah.
Well, if I ever come down to Florida, you can take me to some awesome ghost hunting spots in Florida.
Yeah.
We can send them some snow.
We'll send you some snow, man. Send us some sand. And for snow, it's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
So this is another second curtain flash shot.
Cool. Yeah.
This is actually real fire.
Wow. So the flash is what illuminated her at the very end. Yeah.
There's an orange gel on the flash just to warm up the skin tone so it matches the fire.
Cool.
With the warm light from the fire. And you move the fire through the frame. It's roughly a 2-second exposure. You dress in all black so you don't actually show up.
Yeah.
And Yeah,
That's
I got
neat.
burn scars to prove that it's real
Oh,
fire.
jeez.
So
He's not joking.
anything to get the shot.
exactly.
Yeah.
Ghost
Ghost
tube.
tube, Brandon.
Ghost tube.
I'll type it in the comments as well.
Cool.
Sorry, for those that don't know, my channel usually focuses on ghost hunting stuff.
Brian's actually a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, actually,
Ghost messenger.
I just bought a Ghostbuster shirt this
The
week.
Ghost Whisperer.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
you
did.
You also need
Cool.
like your like name. Like you know how like they all have their names on there. You also need your name on there too. Anyway, baby steps, I guess.
They don't need my plug, but the new Ghostbuster movie was fantastic.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
There you go. Love it.
Yeah, anytime, Brandon. Comment on any of my videos. I reply pretty
Subscribe
quickly.
if you are.
So,
Also subscribe if
So while
if
you
you're
you're
are.
at
not
it,
subscribed, yeah.
I have no
But he
shame.
did
man.
subscribe.
There
right
you
there.
go.
He's
Beautiful.
subscribed.
Nice.
Boom. Live
Thanks,
subscriber. Wow.
Appreciate it.
That just happened.
That just happened. Actually,
Yeah.
4 minutes ago, he subscribed.
Cool.
There you go.
Wow.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Awesome, man. Well, Jason, you're too damn good, man. So
Oh, you guys are too
that's all I
kind.
can say.
Well, I'm in good
So-
company. I'm in very good
Yeah.
company.
Thank you.
For those that don't know, too, we did do an Astro show with Jason.
Oh yeah.
If you go to my lives playlist, the Astro show with Jason is in there, and there are long exposures in there.
Yeah.
Because Jason actually takes photos of galaxies,
Hmm.
and I don't know if you have any of those
Far, far
handy,
away.
Jason. Or...
You know what? I don't think I do. I'm on my phone right here.
Okay.
But if they're willing to have a peek at my website, if I can
Yeah,
plug it, if that's okay.
Plug it, man.
Yeah,
Plug
jdfoleyphotography.com. And I have an astrophotography page where they can see. I have astro bugs. I have everything on there, but there's a great page where I show some of my favorites. So, yeah.
Jason's very good at that, too.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
JD Foley.
Yep, JD as in David, Foley,
Okay.
photography. JD Foley photography, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, those are the ultimate long exposures, obviously. I mean, the longest ones I've done were 5 minutes, but I know that some do 10-minute exposures. Just comes down to how good your gear is. And yeah. But 5 is a long time, and it's a long time to realize afterwards that something didn't go quite right.
Yeah, that's the worst day.
That is-
That's the worst day. Like, what do you do after that, right?
Well, that's
There we
the
go.
balancing act of making sure that you. Oh, there you go, perfect, Brian. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. Andromeda
Casual.
Galaxy.
And
Casual, you
not
know,
the-
just a
Just a
That's a
galaxy.
casual. That's a casual
galaxy.
galaxy shot.
I mean, it is our
Far
nearest
away.
neighbor. It is our nearest
Yeah.
neighbor. But
Yeah, and how near is it? Like
2.5 million light years, I believe.
Geez.
Yeah, just a hop, skip, and a jump.
It's a Sunday drive for us.
Yeah.
Right
Damn.
next door.
Jeez, man, that's just so good.
But that was a series of now. Gosh, I'm testing my memory now. I want to say it was 3 or 4 minute exposures and probably 30 or 40 of them.
Okay.
And then there's a whole other set of pictures you also take called calibration frames, right? They're long exposures as well, but you take it with the lens cap off, go figure. And that's to map out the noise pattern of your sensor so that software after the fact can remove any anomalies from the final image. So it's an incredibly complex type of photography to really get right.
Oh, it's
And
a process for sure.
It's very much a pro. It's hours and hours to capture and hours to edit for sure. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah,
very
it's-
specialized software too.
Yeah.
That helps. Yeah. Oh, cool. Bringing up a few of them. Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll just
yeah.
flip through some of your website here.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
So yeah, check out Jason. He does that cool spacey stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a documentary on Amazon about the new space telescope. Did you know that?
James
Jason?
Webb.
The James Webb.
Webb. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
Goes
I
up
haven't
later
watched it
this
yet.
month, I think.
Yeah, it does. It's going up very soon. I mean, look at what Hubble
What is
does.
it?
I can't
What is
imagine what
it?
the next.
It's a new
you know,
space telescope. Like, what does it do?
It goes
I think-
way beyond what Hubble does.
Yeah, just higher resolution, just
Yeah.
a lot more reach.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
Back
Steve's
to the long
place.
exposures. This is Steve's place for those that don't know.
Mhm.
Brandon, if you watch my videos, there's a lot of videos shot at Steve's place.
Steve likes
Uh,
us.
So this
Steve
is
is-
actually a blend of 2 exposures, if I remember correctly, Andre. That's how we did it.
Yeah,
One
with the
exposure
drone.
for the house.
Yeah.
The house is actually lit on the outside by a drone flying
Oh,
over
cool.
top of it. The Mavic 2 has a light on the bottom, so that is actually what's lighting the outside of the house. And then the inside of the house is Andre running around with a light tube.
Boy, Andre.
I love it. That's awesome.
Attaboy, man.
I have
Yeah,
not heard of Ghost Talker.
And it was as simple as just taking that light tube I have and swiping it over the windows to give him.
Right.
Yeah, cool.
So
Nice.
It doesn't take much, does it?
no.
No.
There's
I'm
some
gonna have
effort.
to look
There's
into
some
this
effort.
Ghost Talker that Brandon's talking about here. I'm gonna have to look
Ghost
at that.
Talker?
Ghost Talker, yeah. I do have a spirit box that I do use, like a legit spirit box.
I have the laser gun, the ghost.
Okay, yeah, the laser grid kind of thing. Those are neat. That's on my list of things to get. I do have a spirit box though.
Yeah. It's always with them too.
Yeah, I always have my spirit box.
Always
in
have
my
it with
bag.
Just pops it open like a McDonald's, you know. You never know.
I just have a laser.
Can you show me?
Hey, that's after.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, hold on. You guys can chat for a second. I'll just run across the room to my bag.
So Jason, what's your next project, man? Like Jason, what are you working on?
Do you know what I've gone just headfirst into vintage cameras. I'm so hooked. Yeah, I'm really hooked on it. I like to refurbish the cameras. Even I've started taking them apart, and I'm telling you, it is nerve-wracking taking apart a camera that's 6-7 decades old.
Yeah.
Getting apart is actually pretty easy. It's getting it back together. That's the trick.
That's
How do you know what to do? You just go on YouTube and Google.
Yeah, there's a lot of service guides that you can get online. There's quite a few great YouTube tutorials, people that walk you through it. So I pulled it off. I managed to get one 70-year-old camera, the lens completely disassembled and clean, lubricated, and put back together again, and it works like a charm. So that was quite the achievement. But yeah, it's fun.
Have you shot with all the cameras yet?
Every one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, every one of them I
favorite?
shoot, and I also develop the film. I do it in my man cave using maybe we'll have an episode one day on that. I could show you that stuff. But yeah,
we should.
I do it all right in the man
episode
cave
for sure.
Oh my god, yeah.
So when I'm done, I have film hanging up from my ceiling to dry overnight. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I tried taking
Great,
apart
man.
one of those film cameras, and
Yeah.
I could never get it back together. So
Oh yeah. Well, I did do one. So I get gifted a lot of them, and one of them that I was gifted was an old Minolta. It was definitely a consumer grade. It wasn't a really unique one. It was, and I decided to experiment with that one and see, can I get this thing apart and put it back together? Yeah, no, didn't happen.
mine was definitely functioning one. What happened was, I think the film, the thing that was the shutter,
Yeah.
kind of got stuck somehow in the back and
Yeah.
wouldn't fully close.
Yeah.
And I tried to fix it myself, but I couldn't put it back. So I just
Oh, it's some of these old cameras. They use they're using cloth shutters. So
cloth shutter.
yeah, and they can get holes in them over time and little pinholes and stuff like that. So the few people that are doing this for a living, I mean, unfortunately they're dying off, right? There's just not that many left that do it. So I feel I'm doing my little part actually in learning how to service some of them. I don't think I'll ever do it as a job, but I'll keep mine going anyways. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
You could be like the leader in like Canada for this stuff, man.
There's a guy named Gary Clennon. He has a company called Lens Medic, and it's out in Calgary. And you may have heard of Lens Medic before. It's he's quite well known. And I believe he'll service modern lenses and cameras, but his real specialty is vintage stuff. And actually coming in the mail tomorrow, I think it's going to be out for delivery tomorrow, is a 1952 Leica 3F. It's one that I managed to find through the help of a friend, sent it directly to Gary, didn't even bring it to me, sent it straight to Gary, and he did a full, what's called a CLA, clean, lubricate, and adjust. So I'm basically getting back a brand new 70-plus-year-old camera. But he does little videos of his service as he's working on your camera. And he posted on his Instagram feed. So you get kind of a play-by-play of the work he's doing, which is pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. Man.
Sorry, I had to show one more. This is
that's good.
Long exposure shot with a drone.
Oh, cool.
Love doing those.
Wow.
Yeah,
How do you do this? How do you do this, Andre?
Just put the drone up, and then you can manually set it to how long you want the exposure and your aperture and your ISO. And
cool.
This is actually a 2-second exposure. But the one night Brian and I were out, we were actually getting 8-second exposures with the drone.
Come on.
Shooting stars.
Yeah.
What? And it stays stable enough, eh?
8 seconds.
That's crazy.
8 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
It has to be a calm night, but
sure.
Obviously,
we were pulling off 8-second exposures, and they were usable.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. What drone can I ask? What are you using?
The Mavic 2 Pro.
Mavic 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't have the funds for the 3 yet.
Hey, Cam.
Hey, I've still got the original Mavic Air is what I've got.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I've got too.
Yeah. You know what? I think we
most of the time now.
I'm getting the tweet.
I think we jumped in just a little too early because that's the one that needs certification. It's $250,000. You know, it's. I wish I had waited just another couple of years. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't use mine enough anymore to
Neither do
justify
I.
getting another one.
Yeah, neither do I. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
Hey, Cam. You missed it.
Come up, Brandon. Come up, and we'll go ghost hunting for sure.
Yes.
I'm gonna show one more type of long exposure because nobody's shown one yet.
Sorry that I missed my other ones, guys, but I hope you enjoyed them.
No,
they were great.
Yeah.
They were good.
I'm just gonna sell my cameras. So thanks.
You say that every time.
So
It's so funny.
just another
I love that one, Brian. Yeah.
another variety. This is
Shadow
Star
Rose
Trails
Theater.
in the city. Shadow
Now, were
Rose
those?
Theater.
Was that a single or some blended, Brian?
This is, I think, 176 shots.
Yeah. Cool.
Just because there's so much, like you can see all the little. If you really zoom in on it, you can see the dots from each. Because I don't take the exposures long enough to blur the stars, but there's so much light from the building.
Yeah.
This is actually a really challenge.
Oh yeah.
really
It
big
washes it
challenge
out,
to do.
eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can actually get a light pollution filter that it doesn't do too bad of a job, but as we change over all of our street lights to LED lights, they're becoming less and less effective because they're really designed.
Generally just a cooling filter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these are actually ISO 640, 0.4 seconds per exposure.
Cool.
And probably about 176 of them.
Shout out
just
Rose
to
Theater.
get that much. And then
Very
you just
cool.
blend them in Photoshop, and then a ton of pulling back highlights and lifting shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
But it's doable.
Nancy has a
any
question.
lens. Any
Nancy
lens
has a
will do,
question.
Mike. So like the Star Trails, I used a 16 millimeter f1.4. But some of the guys on here have used kit lenses.
Yeah.
I've done long exposures with kit lenses before. Like an 18 to 55 kit lens is perfectly fine to do a long exposure shot with.
One quick thing to add: if you're shooting the night sky, and we talked about this on the Astro show, the longer your focal length that you're using, the more exaggerated that star movement will be.
Yep.
So if you wanted to create something like what Brian's got there, and you shoot a longer focal length, you're going to see more of that. If you shoot a really wide angle, you've got to leave it open a long time before you'll start to see any motion. Yeah.
Right.
And Brandon, you can message. There's an Open Shutter YouTube Instagram account that you can follow. You can also follow my Instagram account, which is just BE McGowan Photography.
Yes.
You can totally keep in touch that way as well.
Nice.
And
And
Brandon, I
the
don't
open
think.
If you do photography, Brandon, the Open Shutter YouTube, we issue challenges all the time to people, like this long exposure challenge.
I enjoy these. It's fun because it gives you an opportunity to pull a couple out of the archives, but then come up with a couple of new ones, right? And that's what that's what was fun about this one for sure.
Well,
Yeah,
that's kind of the goal, is to force you to go out and do something. Maybe for some
For
people,
sure.
it's stuff that they don't normally do.
Yeah.
But make it broad enough that anybody can do it. Like we're not going to do, photographing eagles, because
Sure.
not everybody's got a lens
Right.
to be able to do that. And
Yeah. This was a good one. Anybody can do
Yeah.
this one. Yeah. This is a
so
good one.
Like anybody can do it because you just need a tripod. Most people have a tripod, and you
you
have
don't even
your
need a
camera.
tripod.
Well,
Don't
yeah,
need a
you don't,
You need
but
just a stable place to put your camera.
Yeah.
most people do. So just to experiment, it's go
That's
out there
right.
and have fun.
Yeah. I
man.
was in the
If
I
you
was-
if you want to
I
do
was in the
something,
man cave last night taking a picture of a bumblebee's wing. I mean,
I saw that
like,
one.
so experimentation is what it's all about, right?
You're the king of experimentation. I love it.
It's my mad scientist cave.
It's boo-ha. You just need like a white lab coat, man.
That's right.
Come on.
I will have a white lab coat by the next time I come on.
Yeah, 100%.
Nice.
Definitely. Like next time we do the show with you in the man cave, have like a white lab coat.
Fair. Okay. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Deal.
Well,
That'd be great.
I know
That'd be
Evans
great.
has to go, and I have to go to a photo shoot tonight. So we're bumping up against our time here. So let's
Yes.
quickly go around the table. Final thoughts, starting with Paul.
Thanks everyone for jumping on and listening to us, and thanks for everyone submitting so many. It's so great for everyone to participate, because that's what really this is all about. And yeah, hopefully you took away a couple of things, and we look forward to the next challenge issued by Mr. McGowan, because he's the challenge
He's
issuer.
the challenge master.
He's
Nice.
the unofficial title is a challenge issuer. So
There will be more coming.
we'll see. We'll see you next week.
Yes. Jason, quick thoughts?
Yeah, no, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that you let me hop on. I really enjoy this. And anytime we can talk about photography is a good day. So, yeah,
Excellent.
thank you very
Andre?
much.
Jason, you
Thanks to everybody for sending in their photos. They were all really good. Yeah, no, this is probably one of the best submissions we've ever gotten. It's awesome. So get out there and do more.
Yeah.
Yes, and don't forget your motto, Andre.
Don't let yourself block
Let's
yourself.
go.
Evans,
Let's go.
final thoughts?
it was a fun night. A lot of new things, a lot of interesting stuff. Just quickly for next week's show, I'm hosting on my channel. If good,
We can't hear you.
I'm ready. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
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 What I'm saying is, have a wonderful night. It's been a good show. I
Yeah.
saw a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of great submissions, beautiful stuff. For next week, I'm hosting and come ready to edit, right?
Oh,
I'm
God.
going to provide an image.
I'm sick next week.
Yeah. So next week, we're going
I'm
to
in
do one
Jason's
of our,
man cave. I'm in Jason's man cave next week.
it's gonna
Right,
be one of
Jason?
our
Right, Jason?
old time edits, right? So it's going to be, but this one is going to be different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is not going to be, so many images. This time I'm only providing one image that we're all editing. You guys, the audience, will also have the ability to download that same image and edit it along with us. So we can spend more time to edit that image and kind of walk through that. And then the last 20 minutes, you can upload your edit back to the Google Drive. We'll share and go through and see what we all come up with, right?
Interesting.
Oh,
Sounds good.
what's the photo?
Just, is
Bring
one
it
of
on.
those where you see how people approaches things different.
Excellent.
Okay.
On that note, thank you everybody who submitted. We set a record for submissions.
Nice.
Yeah.
We got tons of them, which was fantastic. It's great to get participation from everybody. Thank you to Jason for jumping on for a little bit.
Actually,
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Thanks, Jason.
I'm sure the invite is there if you want to join the live edit session next week.
Oh, that'd be good. Cool.
Come on, man.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And with that, keep creating,
Thanks.
have fun, and we'll see you all next week.
Good night, guys.
Peace.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
guys.
everybody for
Cheers.
watching. Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you very much, Brandon. We'll talk ghost stuff soon.